From the Game Boy and Nintendo that introduced us to portable gaming back in the 90s to the latest cutting-edge devices that can fit into our pockets and deliver console-like experiences, it's not a surprise that handhelds have had their fair share of the gaming industry. But with more powerful consoles like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, or more versatile PCs like the Alienware, the Razer Blade and all those amazing devices, you might be thinking whether getting a gaming handheld would actually be worth it. Well, here is a list of the best 5 gaming handhelds you can find on the market currently. And the idea is that after exhausting this list, you should find at least one gaming handheld you actually like. If not, then I think you'd probably be better off sticking with your traditional gaming console or your PC. First up, we have the Nintendo Switch OLED. The Nintendo Switch OLED is arguably the best console in the Switch family, despite it not being a significant upgrade when initially compared to the standard Nintendo Switch. When you start looking at all these small improvements, they start to paint a larger picture of why the OLED screen is well worth considering if you're looking for an upgrade, especially for those who predominantly play handheld. The 7-inch display drastically improves the visuals from the console in comparison to the original model, boasting perfect looks and vivid blacks. Even outside of the display, the Nintendo Switch OLED hosts enhanced speakers to make gameplay without headphones far more enjoyable. As a whole, the console sounds less tiny in comparison to its 2017 counterpart. This alone makes the best Nintendo Switch games sound crispier than ever. In addition, the console has twice the amount of storage as the original Switch and the Nintendo Switch Lite, with a total of 64GB. It's still a far cry from the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, which offer far faster storage at significantly higher capacities. However, Switch games tend to be significantly smaller and the console has a microSD slot, so you can always expand if you need it at an affordable rate. So far so good then, but the Nintendo Switch shamelessly overlooked one of the 3 core pillars of the Switch experience: TV mode. And the new console is hard to sell as a result. Despite redesigning the console's dock, adding smoother edges, more breathing room, and even a LAN port for those who like to play online, the OLED is surprisingly bare in this crucial sector. Another great disappointment for Switch players playing on their televisions is that you are still capped to a 1080p output. There will be no 4K upscaling, so whenever you dock the Nintendo Switch OLED, all of its major selling points miraculously disappear. While the Steam Deck is more of a pocket-sized PC than a dedicated games console, it has all the hallmarks of what you need to play when you're out and about. That's because this small but mighty machine has enough grunt under the hood to natively play hundreds of games from your existing Steam library without needing a dedicated gaming PC. You may find the Steam Deck to be quite bulky at first, considerably larger and heavier than the Nintendo Switch. The Steam Deck is considerably cheaper than many handheld PCs on the market. Rate starts at $399 for the most basic model. That gives you a 64GB of eMMC storage and a basic carrying case. The Steam Deck is capable of running some pretty visually demanding titles. The Steam Deck's 7-inch display is functional but unimpressive. It's the same size as the OLED Switch with a slightly higher 1280 by 800 pixel resolution. The screen is a 60Hz IPS LCD, so it's bright and easy to read, but it lacks the deep blacks and vibrant colors you get with an OLED display. If you're looking for a portable console optimized for PC gaming, then the Ayaneo Air Plus is one of the better premium offerings on the market, outperforming the Steam Deck and offering a more tailored user experience for PC gamers. It boasts an ergonomic design and a compact size, making it a perfect travel companion without sacrificing any of its performance. The Ayaneo Air Plus is slightly more expensive than the Steam Deck. Each tier balances power with performance and cost, tipping the scales further toward the latter with each tier. The most affordable versions retail for $549 and this utilizes the Ryzen 3 CPU. The next middle tier uses a 12th generation Intel i3 for $599. At $649, you can upgrade to the Ryzen 5 7520U, which clocks higher for better in-game frame rate. The highest tier model uses the Ryzen 7 6800U, the same CPU found in the flagship Ayaneo 2 for $779. The more affordable models offer 8GB or 16GB of memory and up to 512GB of storage, while the Ryzen 7 version increases those maximum to 32GB memory and 2TB storage. Its operating system is nowhere near as streamlined as the Nintendo Switch or the Steam Deck, and it feels as though it's best navigated with a keyboard and a mouse. While this makes sense for a PC handheld console, it could be a lot easier to navigate, especially when taking the size of the handheld into consideration. The GPD Win Max 2 isn't the best known console, but it doesn't mean it isn't worth a spot on our list. This is one of the best handheld gaming consoles on the market, but it also doubles as a tiny little laptop. With a full keyboard below your standard gaming controller setup, the GPD Win Max 2 is a little odd at first, but looks can be deceiving. This little thing is an excellent gaming machine. The obvious benefit of the GPD Win Max 2 is that it got its own keyboard, so you can make notes on the go and in between playing sessions if that's only what you do with a gaming handheld. The built-in controller is a little clunky due to its positioning, though you might be surprised, it's a little comfier than it has any right to be. It's also one of the most expensive gaming consoles on this list. You can expect to pay from $999 to $1,299 depending on the configuration. If there's just something putting you off the Steam Deck but you still want that portable gaming PC power, the Asus ROG Ally is a great alternative. It's a little more expensive though, but it's just capable of running most AAA games and even features Xbox Game Pass compatibility. The screen is 120Hz refresh rate too, which gives another bump over the competition. This means that you can play indie games at a silky smooth frame rate wherever you go. Xbox Game Pass games don't work on the Steam Deck without a lot of fiddling, whereas the subscription service is very well compatible with the Asus ROG Ally. If you've already got an Xbox, then this means you can get a bunch of games at no extra cost on your PC handheld. The downsides obviously start with the price. The cheapest Steam Deck is around $400 and the cheapest ROG Ally is around $600, but the specs are quite different between the two, so the price isn't for identical machines. Still, it's something to keep in mind if you want to dive in. The obvious point of comparison for the Ally is Valve Steam Deck, so pitting the two against each other seems the obvious solution. Surely a winner can be decided, right? For a large segment of shoppers, that is the reality. You're only just going to buy one of these devices. Only a niche group will have the desire or funds to buy both, and picking which one is right for you is a big decision given the cost. But the two are quite different, and neither is objectively better than the other. I have found numerous advantages one has over the other, but also many downsides. For example, the Ally is Windows based, which opens up doors but limits flexibility or accessibility in some use cases, whereas the Steam Deck is a lot easier to navigate. It shares its own set of disadvantages. Well, these 5 handhelds are arguably the best handhelds you can find on the market, but considering the prices of these handhelds and the compromises I will have to make when gaming with this, I for instance would prefer staying with my traditional PC. Besides, I hardly travel or take any flights anywhere, and I don't think gaming on the go is my thing. Thanks for watching, and feel free to subscribe and tell me what you think about gaming on the go with these handhelds in the comment section down below. After all, it's free.